Okay. I will try my best to speak properly. I just can't guarantee that because there's just a lot on my mind, a lot in my heart, so I will try to get through everything the best way that I can. But there's been a lot of talk in the community and within my community online, all kinds of stuff like that, and I thought now was a good time to address some things because it's better that you guys hear it from me versus hearing it from community members or strangers online. So yeah, I just want to sit with you guys and tell you guys what's been going on for the past few years because it's been a lot. So, for the past few years, I've been seeing certain conversations happen in DMs, in group chats, in Discord, in comments, all kinds of stuff like that. And it has all jumbled into one giant conversation. And now's the time to come clean and to tell you guys that I have been writing books and I have been publishing books for the past year. I think it's been a year. All three of these came out in less than a year. I am a self-published author and it's about time that we officially talk about it. I know that I've talked about it before, but I haven't had an in-depth conversation about my books and about my journey as an author. I bet I had some of you guys fooled. We all know that Crazy K here is the master of deception, especially when it comes to her fantasy stories and her fantasy books. If you know, you know. For multiple years, I think it's been about, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years or so, give or take. I don't know, time is weird. I have been told by so many people who have watched my content, you should write a book, you should write a book, you should put your characters into book. I would totally read that. And I'm just simply here to tell you that I've been doing that. I've been doing that when people have no idea that I've been doing that. So I just want to tell you guys about just my journey as an author and, you know, maybe I can inspire one of you guys to really push your stories out there, tell your stories, don't be afraid, be fun, be weird, be loud, be proud, be the biggest weirdo that you are. You like fantasy? Yeah, guess what? So do I. And, you know, the world needs more magic, the world needs more fantasy, the world needs more stories because the world cannot revolve without them. So right now I am working on a book series called The Tales of Vaserin, or I will often call it the Vaserin series. I named the series when I was much younger, hence The Tales of Vaserin. It gave just a very fairy tale vibe, and I didn't want to change that or anything like that. So my writing style, my way of publishing, my way of telling stories is a little odd, but in the most unique and fun way possible. So The Tales of Vaserin, or the Vaserin series, has a total of 7 books. For what you guys know, because I'm always keeping some secrets. And we started by writing the series backwards. Not entirely backwards, but backwards. So with there being 7 books, we started with book 6. Nope, we started with book 5, then we went to 6, and then we went to 7. And the reason why I started backwards is because if I started with the very beginning of the series, I don't think you guys would have any idea that book 1 leads all the way to book 7. So much happens. It is a series full of magic, adventure, sorcery, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't know what's not in there, honestly. We got some fun, cute romance in there. We have horror. We have suspense. We have all kinds of stuff in this series. We have all kinds of stuff everywhere in all of the books that I plan on writing. But another reason why I decided to go ahead and start publishing backwards is because I really wanted to begin with where everything began when it comes to my content, and that is with Golden Legacy. I have been talking about Golden Legacy for what seems like the longest time. It was in 2023, I believe. I may get my dates mixed up because, again, it's really hard to keep up with time. But I brought a character to life, and she became so iconic, and so many people fell in love with her and the shorts I was showing, and that gave me the biggest motivational push to put out her book, put out her story that I've been writing since I was a child, since I was very young. And this is a story that has grown with me. Golden Legacy is my personal story, but put into a fantasy setting. Honestly, many of the books in the Vaserin series, many books that I write in general, are highly inspired by things that I have endured and experienced and gone through in life. And so I decided to take all of that trauma, all of those experiences, and I decided to put it into fantasy books because honestly, that's probably the best way for me to cope with these things. So I won't go too in depth with the synopsis of any of these books, any of these stories, because there is so much to say. But it's been incredible to be on this journey, to be making all of this content surrounding my original characters, and then people coming to find out that it's actually a part of a book. I've been hiding Easter eggs and secrets and all of this content ever since I started, and it has been an incredible journey for people to not only read my books and read my story, but to also just watch the content grow and then watch the content happen through the books and everything like that. It has been so amazing to just watch people enjoy this while I am having the most incredible time just doing what I love, telling stories, sharing the magic, spreading the magic, encouraging those to tell their stories, dress up, be the biggest weirdo that you can, because you know this world needs more of that light. The world needs more proud weirdos in it, because that is where the color, the magic, the fun, the genuality of just passion and love for silly things like writing, original characters, fantasies, movies, all kinds of stuff like that. So the world needs more of that light and more of that magic. So I started with publishing Golden Legacy, which was divided into two parts. We have Golden Legacy Part 1 and Golden Legacy Part 2. It was just so long, I couldn't put it together. We had to separate it because it was just that long. But Golden Legacy, I began writing when I was very young. And for a lot of the time as I grew up, it's not that I forgot about Golden Legacy, it's just I put it to the side because just a lot of things were happening in life and I didn't have time to write at one point. Just a lot of stuff happened in life and I just had to put my passion at a stop, basically. But when I was young, when I was a child, I went through a lot of hospitalizations and everything like that. I got really, really sick for long periods of time. No doctor could figure out what was going on. And it was a lot. Like we thought that I had cancer at one point. I swear there was a test that I took and the doctor said my body lit up like a Christmas tree. And so I really believed that at one point that I was gonna have to go through chemo. And I was just so full of positivity and I didn't grasp really the seriousness of things because I was just so focused on humor and just being dorky, being a little weirdo, that I was walking around a store with a family member and I went as far as to say, you know what, if I have to go through chemo and I lose all my hair, that's fine. I'm going to rock the coolest clown wig that anyone will ever be able to find. And I was so serious about that. Thankfully, there is no cancer. There was no cancer. My body is just weird and likes to say that I have things that I don't. Later on down the line, I was diagnosed with a very, very, very rare autoimmune disorder and stuff like that. It was a very difficult journey. It was a very traumatic journey. Now, where this starts to come in play is that there was a operation that I had to have done, and it was, I can't remember. I can see where I was. There's photos that I've shown and it's me wearing a silver cap and there's also a photo of me. I'm looking very, very upset, very distraught, and I also have a pink elephant with me, I believe. And that is when this was. I believe that I was having a biopsy done on a lymph node to check for things, I think. And I remember I see the doctor's face still. I don't know why I held on to that doctor's face because I never saw that doctor again. But the doctor was putting the mask over my face, telling me to think about things. I don't exactly remember what he said, but he was just like, you know what, have really cool dreams, you know, so on and so forth. And then that mask went over my face and then I fell asleep. And without going into too much depth and detail, I saw something. I saw somebody. I had the coolest dream that I was standing face to face with someone who I couldn't see. I couldn't see her face. I could see her hair. I could see her body. I could see that she was wearing black armor with blue designs, and I saw that she had her hair in braids and it was red and stuff like that. And it took me a while to figure out what that was and everything like that, but basically I saw my Vivalda in my dreams. I guess you could say dreams, even though that's not exactly what I would call it, but that's what I do call it. And I saw her, and during the entire time I was going through all the hospital stuff, everyone was always telling me, you're a warrior, you can get through this, you're a warrior, you can get through this. I was told that all the time, to the point where it started to manifest in my brain. I started to dream about this warrior. I started to dream that I was a warrior at times. And I took that and I just saw it literally in my brain. And so then from there, I turned that into a character, and then I turned my life into a crazy fantasy adventure that follows a princess who suddenly falls sick and ill, and she's left with long-term struggles and stuff like that. And she holds the weight of an entire kingdom on her shoulders, because she looks up to somebody who is her mother, who is one of the greatest leaders that the world of Vaserin has ever seen, has ever had on the throne. And so it's put onto her shoulders, it's put onto Vivalda's shoulders, that she has to be that great. She has to be that amazing. She has to amount to that greatness, when that greatness, being her mother, tells her the entire time, you are perfect just the way that you are. You're going to do just fine. You know, even just because people out there say that you're going to fail because you're weak, because of the medical issues that you deal with, that's not true, you know, so on and so forth. And then she ends up following this line. She follows this path that is her mother's path. She's walking right behind her mom. And then all of a sudden she's thrown off of that path, and she's thrown onto a path that involves magic, sorcery, all kinds of stuff like that. It throws her into the unknown. And the unknown is not a place, it's not a thing, it's not any of that. The unknown is not knowing where that path is going to go. And she doesn't want to be on that path. She discovers this ability that she has with a iconic necklace. And with that necklace, she transforms into this ultimate warrior, this fighter that she doesn't want to be. She doesn't see herself as that. And she doesn't want to be on that path as a warrior to go and save this kingdom. But then it's not until she forcefully walks that path that she discovers that that path that she was thrown onto is where she was meant to be all along. And eventually she embraces that warrior and realizes that that warrior that she's become is the warrior that she's always been since she was a child. And that's kind of my life story. You know, I never really saw myself as a warrior. I didn't think I was strong. I didn't think I could get through things, even though people were constantly telling me, you got this, you're a warrior, you're a fighter, you can get through anything and everything. I didn't believe anybody, because I'm just like, you know what, I'm just a simple nobody, basically. And then it wasn't until I really looked at myself and I realized that I really am a warrior. I'm a fighter. I've endured so much. I have gone through so much in my life, and they're right. And that's who I've always been. That's who I grew to be. I grew to be this incredible warrior, and that warrior is Vivalda. I'm probably speaking in tongues, and you guys probably have no idea what I'm saying at this rate, because I tend to speak a million miles an hour when I'm talking about the things that I love. But that's what makes me unique, and that's what makes me awesome. But fast forward down the line, I'm making content, I'm bringing stories and characters to life, and I would have to say that this happened about 4 years ago, when I was kind of beginning to find my path when it comes to content creating and what I'm doing and what I want to show the world, that we started to really unravel the world of Vaserin, and I started working really hard on debating if these were ever going to come to life in this way. If I wasn't going to publish the books, if I wasn't going to fully write the books and again publish them, then I was going to just make content. I was going to make content, short stories, long stories, all kinds of stuff like that. But then now I'm doing both. So it's been an incredible journey. But since the beginning, I've been showing these characters and showing these stories, and nobody knew that at the same time I was working on these books, I was working on the world of Esther, and I've been working on this world and all of these books, all of these stories. There's a total of like 20 books that I hope to publish and get done and everything like that. And it's been an incredible journey to start telling these stories through content while, again, people had no idea I was working on these books. And now when people read these books, they go back in time 2-3 years ago to see the content that I made regarding these characters. And in some kind of way, because I manipulate the stories a little bit, when it comes to the content, people are now seeing, oh my gosh, Kay's been telling us these stories all along, and we had no idea that it was going to be right here. And so now these books are here. We have books, again, 5, 6, and 7 out, and I do publish on Amazon, and we are about to have another book in the series out. my book Silver Lining, which is book 3 in the Vaserin series, will be coming out on August 8th, and I am incredibly excited because this is a whole revolutionary thing for me with Golden Legacy and a little bit of Beyond the Veiled War. With Golden Legacy, that's my younger self. This is how my younger self would write. This is my younger self's life story, imagination. This is my childhood. This is my inner child. Like, this is my younger self. And you can tell between certain parts that my older self came forth and was like, all right, let me take the reins on this a little bit. But majority of it, this is my younger self's fantasy, imagination, all that kind of stuff. Now with Silver Lining, that is my, I guess you could say, my adult trauma being put into there, but exaggerated, put into another fantasy setting and everything like that. It's much more deep than Golden Legacy. What can I say? I'm so excited. It's not even funny. You guys are not ready for Silver Lining. Silver Lining follows the story of our wonderful warrior queen, Alidora Alcalion, and it follows her story and how she came to be and how she came to be the warrior that she is. And Golden Legacy is about how Vivalda Alcalion came to be the warrior that she is, that we all know and love, and that we have seen grown on social media in insane ways. But Silver Lining is much more mature. It is going to be rated for ages 16 and up because we do cover some sensitive topics and it can be triggering to readers. Yeah, I'm so excited for Silver Lining. But yeah, I'm an author, creator, writer who does things in her own special way. The way that I write, the way that I tell my stories, the way that I create my characters is very odd in the most unique way possible. Because to be odd is to be unique, and to be unique is to just be so different. And that's what we want to strive for. We don't want to blend in to everyone else around us. You know, we want to just be as authentically ourselves as possible. You know, be loud, be proud with your weird self, love your fantasies, love your stories, love your characters. Even if people out there say that it's stupid, it's dumb, it's childish, who cares? You have a light, you have a gift, you have a passion. Keep it, because not everyone can say that they have that they have a light, that they have a passion, that they have a love for something. You know, I was really worried about publishing my books, and I'm still nervous about publishing books. I mean, that's insane. I still get stage fright with that. And that's completely normal. That's completely okay. I was always nervous because, again, I felt like I was just the oddball out. I was so weird. I am still so weird, and that's what makes me awesome. But I was really worried that it's just that, I don't know. I was just nervous to put myself out there like this, because doing this versus content are two completely different things. I hold myself up to a certain expectation when it comes to writing and publishing. But then by the time that Golden Legacy Part 1 came out, alone, oh my gosh, to see people, to see their reaction and hear how much they love it, how much they appreciate it, how much it inspires them, just to feel that love and see that love, I realized that there's nothing to be afraid of. I have nothing to be afraid of. This is what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. And it's been an incredible journey so far. Again, I am so sorry if it sounds like I'm speaking in tongues. It's just when I'm very passionate about things and very excited about things, I tend to talk a million miles an hour. I will try to slow it down. But yeah, this is an incredible journey so far, and I cannot wait to bring you guys along with everything else that's coming forth. I know that so many people in my community are going to enjoy Silver Lining so much, and I cannot wait to talk about it. I cannot wait to tell you guys about Alidora and tell you guys more things that I've been kept hidden for so long. Just my way of telling stories and showing content, it's so unique and so cool in my head, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for staying so strong And I'm proud of myself for pushing through despite, whatever happens in my personal life, no matter what. I always return to this. I always come back to film. I always come back to write. I always come back to create characters and to be with my characters. And it doesn't stop. And the biggest, what can I say? There's so much to say. The most beautiful part of all of this is just encouraging other weirdos, freaks, outcasts, and nerds out there to just embrace just that, to embrace everything that you are, embrace your hobbies, the things that you love, embrace your passion, embrace the love that you feel when you're just you, and that's been the most beautiful part of all of this, is just encouraging other weirdos out there to just be weird and to just have fun. And when it comes to nothing that has to do with the media or my amazing garden of sunflowers, the biggest takeaway for me when it comes to doing what I've done is just that I'm still here. And I'll say it a million times over, if I had not found my love for writing, telling stories, making my characters, bringing my imagination to life, showing the magic and the fantasy of my inner child and everything that she held, I don't think I would be here. I really do not think I would. I don't think I'd be alive right now. And so I'm just incredibly proud of myself for just simply being here, for still going, pushing through everything that I have, and turning everything that I have gone through in life into amazing stories that so many people have fallen in love with. If I didn't hold on for as long as I had, if attempts in life worked, I wouldn't be here. These stories wouldn't be here. These characters wouldn't be here. All of these people that I have inspired and motivated, I don't think any of that would be there. And so I'm just incredibly proud of myself for just simply being here. I know that everything I'm saying probably makes no sense. Again, I tend to talk really fast and talk in words that don't make any sense when I'm really excited, but this is just unfiltered, all natural, okay? I know that it may sound like I've went from point A to point M to point Z to point B, all the way back to Z. That's just how things go around here. I have a very unique way of making content. I have a very unique way of writing. My routines are odd. My style is odd, but that's what makes me awesome. That's what makes me unique. And that's just what makes me me. If you're here along for the journey and everything like that, you'll get used to the Kalish eventually. I can't guarantee that it'll ever make sense. But if it does make sense, it's because you are a part of the garden. You are a part of us. You are a part of the chaos. But it's been an incredible journey so far. And despite the negativity, the darkness that I've had to deal with, the just anything and everything bad, I wouldn't change any of that, because all of this has made me into who and what I am. And without going through any of that, I don't think any of this would exist. And again, I'm here because my craft, my love for writing, my love for fantasy, my love for stories, that's what's kept me alive. And I'm so grateful for it. I want you all to know that the world is too dull, too dark, too negative for your love, for your passions and your hobbies to go to waste. There's always going to be someone out there that says that your hobbies are stupid, your craft is stupid, you're stupid. There's always going to be those people out in the world who will do everything that they can to tear you down. Do not let them do that. I know it's a lot easier said than done. I would know. But don't let any of that stop you. Don't let anything stop you from doing what you love. And don't let anything stop you from simply being you. The world needs your magic. The world needs your stories. Again, the world cannot revolve without stories. Without stories, without fantasy, without the magic, so many people would fall off the deep end. Because again, it's what keeps many of us alive. So if you have a dream, if you have a passion for something, hold on to it. Life is too short for it to be thrown away. People call you weird. People call you a freak. People say you don't belong. Maybe you don't, because you belong in your stories. You belong in other people's stories. You belong in just something far greater than the muck that other people tried to drown you in. You guys are so much more amazing than you guys will ever think. Embrace being weird. You guys love to come around to me and say, don't call yourself weird. Don't call yourself weird. That's not nice. If I'm not weird, I'm not me. If I'm not weird, I'm not Crazy K. If I'm not weird, none of this exists. I'm weird and I love that. I'm weird. That's what makes me me. Embrace the weirdo-ness in you. Embrace the freak. Embrace the nerd. Embrace you, because the world needs more of it. Again, the world needs more of that light. And again, I could say that for hours and hours and hours. I will say that until my kingdom come. I will say that until the end of time. I will say that until you fully understand that the world needs your weirdness. The world needs your light. The world needs your passion. The world needs your magic, no matter how weird it can get. Fantasy is fantasy for a reason. Fantasy is everything. Fantasy is too much. Fantasy is weird. Fantasy is explosive. Fantasy is chaos. Fantasy is everything that you make it to be. That's what makes fantasy so magical. Fantasy is not fantasy without it being too much. You know what I mean? Maybe my words aren't wording, and that's okay. Someone out there understands what I'm saying. The world needs your magic. Don't let anyone dim you of your light, your magic, your passion. Don't let anyone take it from you. Because, you know, sometimes there's always that fear where if we lose that light, if we lose that passion, if we lose that love, we may never find it again. However, I can testify that it is possible. If you fall out of love with something because life tears you down, it is possible to find it again. I've been there a million times with writing, art, all kinds of stuff, my hobbies, my passions. Life had knocked me down so much once that I just fell out of love with everything because I just felt like it was pointless, it was useless, it was stupid, no one understood me. But then I picked up that pen again. But then I opened that document again. I looked at my stories after not touching them for years. And here we are. Here we are. Here we are. And here I am. So just hold on to that. You know, you all are so incredibly strong. You guys are so incredibly talented. And nothing will ever be able to bring you down. I love us, guys. I love this community. I love the sunflowers. I love you guys so much. And I am incredibly grateful that you guys have been along for these journeys. Not just these stories, the stories that you guys see on, you know, on shorts, you know, through any social media. Like, you guys have been following along with these journeys. So many of you guys have been here for so many years, and you guys have been watching this unravel step by step, breath by breath. And I'm just incredibly, incredibly, incredibly grateful for each and every single one of you guys. I don't think you guys will ever understand how much I appreciate and love you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to put this video out there to just tell those who have no idea that I've been writing that we have books out. We have Golden Legacy Part 1, Golden Legacy Part 2, and Beyond the Veiled War, all out on Amazon. And we have Silver Lining coming out very, very, very soon. Time's gonna go by so fast. And before you guys know it, you guys are gonna have another incredible journey to join. Sorry. But yeah. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I don't make these videos that often talking about my books, holding my books, talking about where they came from, telling you guys about the next book coming out, the next series coming out, whatever it may be. But now that we're here, speaking of next series, because we only have 3 more books, from what you guys know, in the Vaserin series left. No matter what, we do have the 3 left, which is book 1, book 2, and book 4. After Silver Lining, and we will be moving on to another series afterwards. We are going to be working on Darli's Dawning, which is Calypso's story. So anything that you guys have seen when it comes to the Call of Calypso, the Curse of Calypso, the Cure for Calypso, the Cursed Crew, you guys have barely been told just the smallest bit of those stories, because I've been saving so much for the books, and I'm very, very excited because I know you guys love Calypso Caesira and her story so much. So I'm very excited to eventually bring forth to you guys Darali's Dawning and Calypso's story, as well as her mother's story, which is Arya Caesira. I'm very excited for all of this to continue to unravel. Again, we have like 20 books in the works. That's insane. And you guys have been watching majority of them play out through social media content and videos, and I'm so excited for you guys to continue joining this journey with me and my characters and my stories. So yeah, I'm an author. That's crazy. I'm still not used to saying that. I'm an author. My work may not be perfect, but it's imperfectly perfect to me in every single way, and that's what art should be about. That's what art is. So, yeah. It's just, yeah. But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to join us on the next journey. I can't wait for you guys to read the next book. I hope you guys enjoy everything that's to come. There is so much coming your guys' way. You have no idea. And again, I am so incredibly grateful for you all being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your light. I appreciate it more than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys on the next adventure. Bye!